Okay, next we go into the one that you guys have been looking for, formation strategies. And then after that, during the gameplay, I will share with you many different tips and tricks which are very important. So I will advise that you guys watch the video all the way to the end to get maximum information out of this, okay? So formation wise, I like to use the 4-3-3. I've got one winger. Generally, I prefer to play one wing. If you are more comfortable with two wings, you can just pull him down and play two wings and one striker. It's just because I like two strikers. I feel that there's more chances of a headed goal if you have two strikers. And if you have one wing, I generally can concentrate a bit more. That's just me, okay? So if you want, you can use this. If not, you can change it to whatever you are comfortable with. Now, the most important thing is that you are comfortable using the formation. Work rate, as long as they can go max, I'll go max one. As other than your defenders, I like to use my fullback at mid, center backs of course low, and then CDM low. For the CMs, I like one low and one mid, and then striker, if they can go high, I'll go high. Defensive, anyone that can go high defensive work rate, I'll use it. So I got Di Maria at 2, Nainggolan at 3, Xabi Alonso at 2, and then 2. For defense, I find that the work rate is better if all four of them shares the same one. If you have one who has high defensive work rate, I find that I defend a bit. My defense is a bit more open. I don't know why, so I just like to use all at the same. So all mid defensive work rate. Strategy, this is important. You need at least 3 strategies if you want to play well in ranking or in any kind of games that you play in level 3. The first one is the go-to strategy that you use every game. The second one is the strategy that you will use when you want to hold on to a lead. Okay, the third one is the strategy that you use if you are chasing a goal. So at least 3. So this is my normal one, as you can see here, normal A. So these are the strategies. If you want, you can pause this and take this down. The second one that I use is possession. Generally I use this when I'm holding on to a 1-0 lead or 2-1 lead sort of thing. Everything's at 20, ultra defensive. Number 4, this is the third one. This is the one I use if I'm chasing a goal. I notice that I don't go gung-ho because I realize that if you go gung-ho, most of the time you'll concede goal. It's too open already, attacking as well. So I stick it to standard and then I just set to something like that. Okay, so you need at least 3. The last thing that we want to talk about before we finish preparing ourselves for the ranking campaign is your subs bench. Now this is very important for ranking because generally when I play friendly, I don't sub. But when I play ranking, I do make substitution when I see fit. So most importantly, you must have your super sub, and my super sub is Luca Toni. So I'll sub him on if I'm looking for a goal, if I'm chasing a goal. Luca Toni is up. Generally, I only use him. But you want to make sure that you have players for every position in case there's red cards, injuries. Don't bother putting a goalkeeper on the bench because goalkeepers seldom get injured unless your goalkeeper performs badly and you want to sub him on. So I generally don't put a goalkeeper. I just use all 7. I've got Dani Alves, Luis, Terry, Silva, Ribery, Drogba, and Luca Toni on the bench. Most importantly for me is Luca Toni because he is such an important player coming off the bench to score a headed goal. Okay, so now that the preparation has been done, let's go into the real campaign. Okay, I've played a few games. I will show you each and every game that I played. So this is the first game that I've played. Okay, it's against, as you can see here, I'm at a semi-pro 0-0. It's very bad. It's the first game I played using this account to play ranking. So your opponent is at semi-pro as well. At this stage, okay, the first thing I would say is importantly, as you can see what I'm doing here is I'm changing players. So I don't normally use player with this condition whereby it's directly pointing downwards because I think they generally perform very badly. I can accept this, like slightly down, but not this. Only Pogba and Ronaldo will always play regardless of condition because I feel that they play very well regardless of their condition. Other than that, everyone will be subbed off if their condition is bad. So this is the first tip that I'm giving. The second tip is that you want to always look at your opponent's formation before you go into the game, okay? Because you want to properly prepare yourself mentally based on the formation. For example, this formation, if you look at the opponent, he's got no CDM. He's got a CM and he's got 2 attacking midfielder, which means that under such condition, he's got no protection in front of his defense. It's easy for you to go directly bypass his midfield, so that's important. So always look at your opponent's formation before you start the game. If you look at this game, right, my opponent is not moving. So if you look at that guy just now, he's not moving at all. So what you want to do is capitalize on it, because in ranking there shouldn't be like any sentiment. You let him play and that sort of thing. If he's not moving, go for 5-0, because if you get 5-0, you get the maximum point out of the ranking match. Okay, so try to aim for 5-0. Anything more is a bonus. So once I'm still playing against him, he's not very good as expected. So I'm trying to score as many goals as I can to get as many points as possible. Okay, and then another thing is, at this stage, whereby your opponents are relatively weak, semi-pro, bronze, grey, the sort of ranking, please do not lose the game, okay? The most worrying thing at this stage is complacency. That is a big problem, because you think your opponents can eat one lah. But then there are many times whereby your opponents are actually players using sub account. For example, the account that I showed you just now, if you look at the team, you'll be like, this should be easy, this guy is new, level 20, plus 0 team, that sort of things. Okay, but when it comes to the actual game, it is totally not the case. There are many people, many pros using sub account waiting to eat you up. So always stay on your toes, be vigilant, and don't ever be complacent. Okay, so that's the first match done. Go for the second match. I'm still at semi-pro B now. Okay, so this is against a semi-pro C opponent. Once again, I'm looking at his formation. So if you see 4-5-1, you know the midfield definitely pack one. So you want to be very careful with your passes, because the midfielders will be able to harry and tackle you easily. Okay, go for the wings. And then this is the one that you guys have been seeing a lot. It's my crosses. I always cross and score. Same thing, go for as many goals as possible. Okay, maximize your strength and hide your weaknesses. At this stage, I think the most problem that a lot of people face is to keep your play style, because your opponents are weak. You tend to rush your play, thinking like, oh, I must score, like, cannot don't score. But I would suggest you guys to be careful as well. Okay, you want to be you want to keep your play style exactly the same against any opponent. So this is the third game, as you can see. Let's rewind a little bit. So I won my second game already. So this second game won. Third game against this guy, semi-pro B. Once again, look at his formation. Okay, I'm gonna give tips on different opponents' formation so that you know how to play against them every time. So this formation, there's no CDM. So once again, you know that it is easy for you to bypass the midfield. All three of these midfielders will be bombing upwards, and then there will be a big hole right here for you to play direct balls from the defense to your strikers without much interception. Okay, so let's go into the game. And I've got Suarez on the ball, and he finds it right easily. Because there's no CDM, the defense is generally very open one. Okay, and I'm not expecting to lose, and I don't think you should be losing at this point. Okay, stop, start, dribble, cross, hit. Most of my goals are like that: run, cross, hit, run, cross, hit. And then your opponent is not moving, don't care, go for the goal. Every point counts in the ranking. Do not waste opportunity unnecessarily unless you are at least 5-0 up. Right? So brilliant goal by Suarez there, dribbles past 2. So this is the third game. Look at him, he's not defending at all. If at this stage you are struggling, then I suggest you practice a bit more before going for ranking, okay? 8 shots to 1. Like I said, I try to keep the shot on target by the opponent at 0 as much as possible. And then I'm going for 6-0. I think he has rage quit. Yeah, he has rage quit already at this stage, but I don't care. Go for as many goals as possible. Get the momentum going. Get your confidence going. If you can go for 8, 9, 10, go for it. Don't waste time. You can get some confidence because your opponents are going to be strong later. Okay? So that is the third game done. So this is the fourth game. This is the first bronze opponent that I faced. So this is bronze. You want to be a little bit more careful. Now, before we go into the gameplay, you see the formation. This is the first time I come up against a park the bus formation, 5-2-3. Of course, the most defensive one is probably like 6 or 5-3-2. But 5-2-3 means that you cannot penetrate the center of the defense that well. Okay, the center of the defense will be very packed. So what you want to do for me is to go on the wings as much as possible, and this is a very good tip as well. If you look at this particular gameplay here, let me just show you guys here. Okay, look at the first goal here. I've got Gerrard on the ball and I pass to Ibra. The first thing I'm thinking is first time fake shot. That is a very good trick that you can use to beat the defender easily. So Gerrard, look at, you want to notice this, as soon as Gerrard passes the ball down to Ibra, he does the first time fake shot and gets the shot away. How to do it, you figure out first, okay? I'll probably do a tutorial if there's a lot of problems with the community. So Gerrard down the line, Ibra, first time fake shot, shoots, goal. It's a very good trick that a lot of people use. Same thing for this. Look at this. Ronaldo is looking at the ball. The first time he gets near the ball, he does a fake shot and gets the shot away. Boom, fake shot, shoot. Yeah, so that is one very good way to beat a crowded area in the box. And then go to my customary cross and header. This is what I always do, okay? So that's the fourth match done.